Hi, it's been a while. So, this isn't my usual type of content, but I really wanted to try something, change it up a bit. So, recently Nintendo announced that there's going to be a Direct soon, tomorrow as of recording, and likely out by the time you're seeing this. And I thought that it was happening on the 21st or 22nd, so I thought, I have a few more days to get this project done, but it kind of jumped on me. So here I am making this more casual video. It was originally going to be a full-length animatic / trailer for a hypothetical game I wanted to see from Nintendo. More as like a pitch, not something I think realistically would happen, but something I would just like to see. And that is where we are today. I want to discuss my ideas for a new Nintendo game starring Wario and Waluigi. Now, Wario has had quite a few games up to this point. He had 4 Wario Land games, Wario World, and a bunch of WarioWare games. And he's been in other games as well. He's been in all the Mario Karts, the Mario Sports games, Smash Bros. He's been around. When people make the argument that Waluigi should have his own game, I actually stand opposed to that. I don't think Waluigi deserves might not be the right word, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I don't think Waluigi deserves his own standalone game. I think if Waluigi is to get a major title, it has to be alongside Wario, which comes to my pitch for you today. A Wario and Waluigi duo beat-em-up game called Wario Waluigi Punch and Profit. The basic premise I have in mind is it's a kind of like the Mario Luigi series, where you play as 2 characters in a turn-based battle system. In this, you're playing as 2 characters in a beat-em-up style of levels, in a beat-em-up style of levels, to earn a bunch of cash for some big bad, either a new character or a recurring character like the King Goomba or whatever. My original pitch was like a loan shark, like a literal loan shark, and he has these tanks and everything. But the main bad guy doesn't matter. More so, I wanted to propose the ideas of what it could actually look like and play like. It would kind of play like this game called Sifu, where you have a space and you have to defeat a certain number of enemies. It's a bit of a stretch of an idea to say so, but I think a good example is the Payday games, like Payday 2, where where the goal is working as a team to earn a bunch of money or complete a heist or whatever, and you can go quiet, you can try to stealth through all the missions. I'm imagining a museum with a bunch of Toad guards or Shy Guy guards, or it could be whatever, guarding museum pieces, and you can either sneak past all the guards, grab all the loot and get out of there, or you could go loud by beating up everyone, causing a ruckus, going loud. The gameplay loop of Punch and Profit I'm imagining in my head would be you go from level to level or world to world, taking on more get-rich-quick schemes that Wario and Waluigi are just completely down for and ready to take on board. So again, for example, the heist level, you go through a museum, you rob things. You could have a wrestling world where Wario and Waluigi act as a wrestling duo, and you can either participate in one-on-one fights where Wario and Waluigi would actually cheat, gang up on you, break some of the rules. Or you could do a 2-on-1 where it's Wario and Waluigi versus a bigger boss. You can have some cool ultimate attacks. Another heist or another job could be breaking into a nightclub or something. Not a sleazy nightclub, but a disco club where Wario and Waluigi would get all jazzed up and get all fancy. I can imagine them wearing vests and afros and some really cool pants or something. And they would fight all the bad guys who are using dance patterns, so you can kind of predict when they're going to hit you from the music or from their little dance patterns. And you could also, you could throw in a bunch of different elements of platforming with that. Maybe certain enemies can only be hit on beat. There's a lot of potential with this premise. I think that it would just be more interesting. Also, if this game were to happen, my only little request, it's a bit of a bigger ask, but I would really like a boss fight against Mario and Luigi, because we never get that. I know none of the video games where Mario and Luigi are present have them as optional opponents or bosses or anything. Like, none of the games really position themselves in that way where that can realistically happen. But a Wario Waluigi game would be the perfect opportunity to see that. They can have their own duo attacks. In my head, I'm imagining Wario and Waluigi would be followed by Mario and Luigi as they're trying to either like save the princess again, or because they've heard from around town that like, hey, Wario and Waluigi are going around getting a bunch of money. You gotta save them, Mario. And then you could have like a cool boss fight. I'm imagining in my head it to actually take from the Virtual Boy Mario games where it's in the sewers and you can like throw crabs and turtle shells at them. I don't know, like there's a lot you can do with it. Like if Mario and Luigi have a duo attack, Wario and Waluigi could totally pick up on it too. Like imagine that. Like I think that'd be funny. Or they could have more like positive spins on your player attacks. So where Mario and Luigi might hold hands as they spin for a wide-hitting attack, supporting each other, you know, Waluigi could just use his long arms and use Wario as like a wrecking ball, effectively. Like a spinning wrecking ball. I think that, like, there's a lot of ideas there. And you could have a competition mode. You can have there's potential for multiplayer mode. You can have a health-based system where you have to fight each other one-on-one in the wrestling match or whatever. You could have the base game even have a two-player mode where, you know, one person controls Wario, one controls Waluigi. You can have a kind of like coin battle in Smash Bros. Where you can play with up to 4 players and compete to earn the most money by the end by beating up enemies or collecting rewards or whatever. Like, there's a lot of ideas you can do with this. And these are just like the 3 I came off the top of my head. I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm missing. You could do like a car chase heist. Maybe it becomes its own subversion of Mario Kart, where Wario and Waluigi are again just like cheating. Like they're using unconventional tactics with the items and everything. I think there's there's a lot of potential with this because Wario and Waluigi effectively, they're the safest bet for Nintendo to experiment, because if it doesn't go well, oh, it's just a spin-off, you know, Wario Waluigi, it's just whatever. It's like, from a business standpoint, it's probably a safe bet. But because of the internet's cult following of Wario and Waluigi, especially Waluigi, I reckon Nintendo's pretty safe to make this game because, like it or not, people will want to see what it's about. People would be curious as to what a Wario Waluigi leading game would look like, and I think Punch and Profit would be an excellent idea for it. Plus, if we're not getting a Bowser solo game where we get to play as the bad guy, I reckon Wario and Waluigi can ease into that trend a little. Allow us to play as more bad guys, or just like as other additional characters outside of the Mario Kart games. Yeah, this whole video was pretty much unscripted. I had my basic talking points just going off of whatever I could spitball. Like, I know it's not going to happen. I should have prefaced this video with that. I know Wario Waluigi Punch and Profit wouldn't even happen as a fan game. Much as I would love to see it and be involved with that, with a professional team and everything, I think there's just like a lot of room to practice with that. I think Wario and Waluigi deserve the chance to have a spin-off game or two, because, well, yeah, that's just it. I think they deserve a chance. And if people are going to be clamoring for, "Bro, please give us a Waluigi game, we want a Waluigi game," then sure. He's not doing it alone. I still don't think Waluigi could do it on his own. But it's not impossible. I'd love to be proven wrong. Aside from, Waluigi's taco stand, I really see nowhere where Waluigi could stand alone as his own game. Like, stand alone in his own game and star in his own game. I feel like you have to have Wario there. But together as a duo, there's so much like unique gameplay ideas, so many game variety ideas. There's a lot of comedy that could come from that. Imagine all of the scenarios you can get into, like playing with your friend on the couch or whatever, and you're stealthing through something and then you get caught and you have to go like, oh no, now we have to, all right, well, let's go loud, or you try to cover it up, or like, okay, well, here we go. Like, I definitely think the YouTube Let's Plays and everything would be really funny. And at the end of the day, as long as it's a fun, well-balanced, ultimately harmless spin-off game starring Wario and Waluigi. I think we can get the Waluigi fans to shut up a little. Guys, shut up, he's not getting into Smash Bros. Thank you so much for watching. I've got a bunch of projects in the work, and unfortunately I'm inflicted with ADHD, so I can never focus on one thing for way too long. Let it be known I will keep doing lyric videos. I've got like 2 or 3 in the making, and one of them's just in the recording phase now. And I do have another non-lyric video in the making, but that's gonna be further down the line. I'm gonna focus more on the lyric videos. A lot has been happening in the past few weeks, months. Months. A lot's been happening the past few months. I graduated high school. I just finished my first trimester of university, and we're in the middle of getting ready to move and sell the house. So a lot has been happening in between the few months that since my XY video package. And I do plan on following up on the XY thing a little, especially if we hear more news about Pokemon Legends ZA, because then people will be talking. And also I love Pokemon Legends ZA. I literally screamed when I heard it. I screamed in the kitchen as I watched it because I was so excited for it's more Kalos. XY is my favorite game. It sucks, I know. I like bad things. Let it be known, I like bad things. But I'm really happy. So I do plan to do more XY stuff in the future. Like very shortly in the future. But until then, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Check out my other stuff, and I'll see you then. Bye.